Hey y'all, Eric here, trying to get this video done. I keep having tech problems. Some of it's my fault, and some of it's the computer's fault. But anyway, ad nauseum. I know y'all are tired of hearing that. I'm tired of saying it. But anyway, I'm jumping on here to talk about some breaking news regarding the still ongoing election drama between Supreme Court Justice Allison Riggs and Appellate Court Judge Jefferson Griffin. So last Friday, just to remind you, the appeals court in North Carolina ruled 2-1 in favor of Jefferson Griffin that some 65,000 ballots could be challenged, and that those people who are on those ballots, the voters, have 15 days to avoid having their votes thrown out. So yeah, as of Friday the 4th, 65,000 people, and this includes military and overseas people from North Carolina, have 15 days to show the North Carolina Board of Elections proof that they were eligible to vote in that election. Allison Riggs said that she was going to appeal. Well, the breaking news today that was on WCNC said that the North Carolina Supreme Court temporarily blocks that ruling to throw out 65,000 votes in the Riggs-Griffin way. So let's listen to this video.
In the still undecided race for the state Supreme Court seat. That same court just temporarily blocked a ruling that would force 60,000 voters to verify their registration or have their ballots thrown out.
So last Friday, the state appeals court ruled in favor of Republican Jefferson Griffin and his challenge that these voters had incomplete registrations. Justice Allison Riggs still has a more than 700 vote lead over Griffin, which could be overturned if this ruling does go through. A final decision is likely to come from federal court.
Well, breaking news in the...
So here's why all this matters. This is the only election from 2024 that has not been settled. Think about that. The only one. We're approaching the middle of April of 2025. The middle of April. And if you count back, and I'm doing it on my hands, 5 months, over 5 months since this election happened, and it's still not settled. Because Jefferson Griffin, who is part and parcel, part of the MAGA faction of the Republican Party. And the reason I have stopped is because I'm thinking in my head that we shouldn't even be talking about this, because the judicial branch should be impartial to what the law says. Impartial to what the law says. But the reason this matters is because, as I said, Jefferson Griffin is part of the MAGA faction of the Republican Party, which is part and parcel of the Trump administration, and he's in battle with the judicial area right now, who are actually the only branch that's going against him. The congressional side has failed to stop him, and so the judicial branch, for the most part, on some of these levels, are the only block in front of him. And so if Allison Riggs loses her seat that she rightfully won, if she loses that seat, that means the North Carolina Supreme Court is essentially locked in a 7-1 conservative MAGA faction court. And they always go against anything that the Democrats in North Carolina try to put through, and that's challenged, but they always go with the Republicans in any legislation that comes before them that's challenged. And yeah, if Allison keeps her seat, that's a 6-2 ratio, but it will be easier in the elections coming up to unseat other judges to at least get this court balanced. But if Allison loses the seat, as I said, it will be a 7-to-1 ratio. And it will be much harder, much harder. Legislations that are challenged, say the same thing that they did to Governor Cooper, would be the same thing that they tried to do to Governor Stein. And challenges will go up in front of the North Carolina Supreme Court. Think about things that are specific to North Carolina that are in the seat. We're talking about a Republican General Assembly that wants 18, 19, and 20-year-olds, but let's just specifically talk about 18-year-olds, to allow them to own guns that don't have to be registered, don't need a permit for conceal and carry, and they can just walk around here with guns. I did a video about this a few videos ago, showing an example of what could happen on a CATS bus. Somebody pulled out a gun, shot into the floor of the bus, which could have blown up the bus. There were other people on the bus. They could have been shot, and and this all started over an argument about politics. Yes, that happened. And yet, the Republicans say that this is about protecting families, so they're going to give an 18-year-old the right to conceal and carry with no permit. They're also trying to block legislation that ghost guns also have to be registered. A ghost gun, and that was in the news because of Luigi Mangione, who's about to stand trial for murdering the CEO of United Healthcare, of the United Healthcare branch of United Healthcare. The weapon that was used in that murder was a ghost gun, meaning that you can go online and order the parts, put those guns together, and they are viable weapons to be used to kill people, and they're virtually untraceable because there's no serial number. They don't have to be registered. And the Republicans are trying to block legislation on that. Education is a piece of that. Abortion is a piece of that in North Carolina. That's why this case matters. And as I said before, if you're not embarrassed as a North Carolinian that the Republicans have been holding up this election for more than 5 years, then something's wrong. And I'll leave that with you. Have a good day, and I'll see you on the next video. Please follow this because this election has long-reaching ramifications.